on, dude. Do I have to? If you have any praise as a reviewer, definitely. That first review you made was shit. You weren't even looking at the camera. Come on, dude. It wasn't that bad. Kapupa! Was that a joke? If so, it's better than your review was. Okay, what are you going to do exactly if I don't do it? Okay, I'll do it. Just put the sword down. Ha! Thought so. Alright, let's get this over with. What's up, YouTube? Totally Emerald and Detective Pikachu here.
What's up, everyone?
Redoing One Piece episode 954, titled, Its Name is Enma, Odin's Great Swords. So did you guys get my hint last review? However, I said there'll be no new review. You'll know what I mean next week. Yeah, the thing is, I almost never would have done this if Kawamatsu wasn't so scary. Kapapa! What was that? Nothing, Kawamatsu-sama. I was just complimenting you. Kapapa! Thought so. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's get into the review. But before that...
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, press that bell icon for more anime and manga content. Alright, here's the review.
So the episode starts with Zoro continuing his chase after his stolen sword, and even after how wounded this monk was, he still managed to lose Zoro. Though Zoro was able to follow the blood trail, he can't find his exact spot, which, you know what, considering his navigation skills, the fact he even made it that far with the blood trail backing him up is a miracle in itself.
He should just use hockey.
Yep. Meanwhile, not too far away, Hiyori and Kawamatsu talk to each other like old times until some beast pirate fodder spot them and they're all, eat lead! Yori Kitty! Oh yeah, Kawamatsu, you the man! And to think Hiyori honestly questioned if he was alright. Hiyori, he's one of the 9 red scabbards. A few fodder soldiers is nothing to him.
Yeah, have a little faith, lady.
Totally. Oh my god, guys, check this out. Kawamatsu offering Hiyori a piggyback ride, then she's all, I am no child. Then don't make faces like one. It's nice they can joke around like old times. Also, fun fact, he tells us that Ringo, like Hakumai, used to be ruled by the tough Shimotsuki clan, and one of the former daimyos, Ushimaru, was always accompanied by a fox.
Wow, that was a really fun fact!
That's not the end of it. Ringo had a tradition called eternal graves, where corpses are placed in caskets that, due to the cold, don't decompose for centuries. That's not all. The grave markers are supposed to be swords, which leads into our second tradition, where people in Ringu are given swords when they're born, and they grow with them and keep them until dead, which is where they become grave markers, which, after hearing all that, I gotta say, that is dangerous. Badass, but dangerous. They could poke an eye out or lose a hand, though maybe they're only allowed to use them when they're, I hope, at the very least potty trained. And to think the info dump still isn't over. What time is it?
It's flashback time.
Kawamatsu's about to commit seppuku, but then hears gunshots and is all, can't I die in peace? There he meets a wounded Onimaru, then it collapses so Kawamatsu nursed it back to health. After finding out Onimaru was protecting the sanctuary, and just when it looked like they were friends, the next day the fox saw Kawamatsu grave robbing the swords, and then he's all... But after a heartfelt speech of Kawamatsu doing this to save Wano, Onimaru calms down and licks his wound.
Oh, adorable!
Yep. Then we get a montage of them collecting swords together, and while the whole time he's doing this, Kawamatsu has been stealing fruit from stands. Then one day he got caught after pushing his luck too far with that. And what's cruel is he actually, just as a joke, said that he was going to sell one of the swords to pay for food legally. Alright, flashback over. Hiyori asked Kawamatsu if he came here to see Onimaru, but then she's all, nah, he probably left by now. The last scenes are of Zoro still not being able to find Mr. Shoe Sweet Thief, Kawamatsu letting Kinemon know they have enough swords to supply their military, the monk revealed to be Onimaru himself, and of Hiyori offering Zoro her father's sword Enma in return for Shusui, since Shusui's a national treasure of Wano. And after hearing how it cut Kaido, Zoro pops a boner all, oh yeah, that'll definitely do. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be as vague and spoiler-free as I possibly can, but Zoro with Enma right here in the story is a massive, and I mean a huge power-up. Like, huge might be an understatement. Like, it really was. Zoro I think at that point he was probably even slightly stronger than Luffy. Not by much, but you know. Also, my favorite part of this episode was Kawamatsu showing off a small taste of his power when he fodderized those fodder. There's a reason I made this picture the original thumbnail for my original review of this episode. Well, that, and I didn't know how to properly do thumbnails yet. I do now, but back then, no. Although my least favorite part, which is also Kawamatsu related, is when Kawamatsu snuck food one too many times and got caught for it. I mean, he really should have took his own advice, sold one sword. Like, selling one sword out of a few thousand isn't gonna make that much of a difference. But live and learn, like they say. Also, fun fact, Onimaru's monk form, that is actually his devil fruit form. Yeah, his fox form is actually just his original form. And I really hope that Onimaru does something prominent in the war. Although, if he doesn't, he has a valid excuse guarding the swords. Well, there you guys have it. I just redid my horrible first review. Yeah, I'm gonna private my old review, but I might unprivate it, but like I said, you have Kawamatsu to thank. Well, it was a lot of fun, and I've improved a lot since a year ago, so time for the after show! Well, been a while since I've done one of these, so for today's after show, I'll be reviewing the 4 latest manga volumes I got from Barnes & Nobles the other day. Alright, let's get into it. First up, we'll start out with my expertise. One Piece Volume 98. God, just look at it. So many characters, so many colors. That is completely different than Tite Kubo's style of volumes. Like, Kubo likes to just do one character, like that one I'm pointing at. Yeah. And, well, Oda does completely different style. Well, we have Sulong, Nico, and Inu, Raizo, Luffy, Yamato, so many others. Oh. Oh yeah, and there you are, Kawamatsu. You look good in it. Good papa! Thank you! Next up, for Demon Slayer number 9, Tengen. Man, I just love Tengen. He, you know what I see his appearance as? His design is like based off a bodybuilder combined with a jewelry model. Just look at him. Man, and 9's my favorite number. I gotta say, Demon Slayer has some of my favorite volume covers of all time. In fact, one of them is my favorite volume cover of all time. Hold on a minute.
2 seconds later.
Just look at that. I know I've already reviewed this one, but this is like my favorite volume cover of all time. I mean, just look at it. The green, Inosuke. It just screams wilderness. So majestic. Man, so awesome. Alright, next up, well, we've got the Jujutsu Kaisen's one. Here we have Mei, and I gotta say, from just looking at it, from a distance, it almost looks like Mei holding a condom cover, and combined with that, with her being nude, with just her hair covering her tits. This is why I like more mature manga. I mean, just look at it. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen is more mature than the run-of-the-mill shonen, without being seinen. I mean, although it does go into seinen every once in a while, it's like the gap between shonen and seinen, the middle ground, as you will. Alright? Lastly, we have Jujutsu Kaisen number 11 with Kento as the volume cover character. Man, it just looks so creepy, and it's not like One Piece where it's all goofy and stuff. No, Jujutsu Kaisen is has a bit more mature looking artwork, like spookiness, you know? Yeah, but that's not to say it's not. I mean, in some ways I like it more, in some ways I don't, and what the hell? Is he wearing a wristwatch? I mean, the manga takes place in, like, 2017. Like, it's not even a smartwatch or anything. God. But he pulls it off. It does look pretty cool, though. Well, peace. That's all, folks.